killed every single one of them, the elites of the 9 Great Sects, the strongest warriors the Orthodox world had ever produced. He murdered them all, and they called him a monster. They called him the divine demon. His name alone made emperors lock their gates and sect leaders wet themselves. But here's the thing about being the strongest man alive. It makes you a target. They didn't conquer him in war. They couldn't. So they made his wine poisonous, sealed his meridians. And the woman he loved more than his own cultivation drove a blade through his chest while smiling at him. Jeong Cheon died, never thinking he would see the sky again. He was right. He wakes up gasping, sweat running down his face. His hands are small, weak, very weak, shaking. He's in a filthy room and it smells like mildew and old medicine. And when he looks at the cracked mirror on the wall, he does not see the divine demon. He saw a boy, pale, thin, rings under his eyes. The body of someone who hasn't eaten right in months. This is Mu-jin Hwa. 16. The wild young master of the Yeomhwa family in Sichuan. A boy not able to cultivate, no fighting. I can't even pass the basic Kai test that 10-year-olds pass. His family was once powerful enough to rival the legendary Tang family. But now they are broke, forgotten, tried to tease, and everybody thinks he's nuts. But Jeong Cheon knows what they don't. This body is not Hwa Mu-jin has the heavenly martial body, a body constitution so rare it appears maybe once in 1,000 years. The madness you all see, that's just raw, uncontrolled power with nowhere to go. And now that Jeong Cheon is behind the wheel, he knows just how to fix it. Only Ma Sok has not left him. A retainer who is old and tired, who looks after him, shields him from bill collectors and treats him like a son. The other members of the family treat him. The servants talk in whispers. The relatives plot to seize the estate. The local gangs circled like vultures for the old man's death. Jeong Cheon watches it all, and he doesn't get mad. He does not scream. He sits in that dirty room, shuts his eyes, and starts to breathe. One night, when the estate sleeps, he slips into the eastern courtyard. He knows something about this place that no one else does. Under the broken flagstones, there is a spring of Kai. In the original timeline, it is sealed for another 5 years. But Jeong Cheon has the key to the formation. He'd gotten it from a dying array master 3,000 years in the future. He places the stones. He traced the glyphs. The earth splits open in a golden light, and he sits cross-legged in the middle of it and begins the art of breathing primordial chaos, a device that hasn't been in this age for 10,000 years. His ruptured meridians don't simply heal, reform, thicker. Infused with divine and demonic power, by dawn, he's gone from a cripple to the first stage of Kai refinement. 3 days later, he's cornered in the kitchen by a clan bully, pushes him, tells him he ain't worth the rice he eats. Old Hwa Mu-jin would have looked at the ground. This one grabs the bully's wrist, squishes, and the bully's face turns white because he can't get free. Very calmly, Mu-jin leans in and says, 3 seconds to let go of my shirt. The bully doesn't look behind, and Mu-jin turns back to stirring the kanji like it's nothing. But small moments like that are just the warm-up. The real threat isn't some kitchen bully. It's the world out there. The fall of the Yeomhwa family was not accidental. They were destroyed from within and without. The rulers of Sichuan, the Tang Clan, wanted them out, and the local underworld gangs have been picking at the bones ever since. Jeong Cheon is wandering around the city, not as a warrior. As a strategist, he maps every gang territory, all the trade routes, each corrupt official. He is building a chessboard in his mind, and every person in Sichuan is a piece on it. Then one evening, a gang of thugs invades the estate. They've come for their cash, and when they see the mad boy and the old servant, they laugh. They think it's going to be easy. It is, but not for them. Mu-jin does not use Kai. He doesn't have to. He works from the anatomy. Leverage. 10,000 years of battle experience in the body of a fragile teenager. He avoids a punch by a millimeter, steps on an instep, redirects momentum. 3 men hit the ground in under 10 seconds. He stands over them, breathing evenly, and says a single line. Tell your masters the Yeomhwa family is closed for business. Ma-sok stands at the door watching. His eyes go wide. His hands are shaking. For the first time in years, he doesn't see a crazy boy. But Jeong Cheon knows it won't be enough. Beating up thugs is a band-aid. The real problem is legitimacy. The Yeomhwa family needs to prove they still have teeth. They need to prove that anyone who touches them will lose a hand. And the perfect opportunity arrives in the form of a regional martial arts gathering, a public tournament to which all clans and sects in Sichuan send representatives. The Yeomhwa family is sending their crazy, crippled young master as a joke. Another nail in the coffin. Mu-jin agrees, does not debate, doesn't beg, simply nods. The night before the tournament, he pushes his cultivation further, one sitting to break through 3 levels of Kai refining. His body breaks and rebuilds, black filth oozed from his skin. He has done in a dawn what ordinary cultivators can do only in 3 years. Here comes the tournament. The crowd jeers when his name is called. Someone throws rotten fruit. He walks to the center of the arena in plain clothes. Not a weapon, no armor, just standing there. His opponent charges in. A disciple of Kai refinement stage 4, supposed to be 2 stages above Mu-jin. The crowd demands a 10-second beatdown. The opponent throws a simple palm strike. Mu-jin steps back, first step, very little. Then he taps the man's wrist with a finger. The guy goes flying off, slams into the arena wall. Knocked out, silence. Dead. Mu-jin turns to the judges and says, "Next round, please. I want to get this out of the way before the lunch." He wins 3 more fights in quick succession. 3 enemies, 3 moves, 3 bodies unconscious. The murmuring crowds become roaring crowds. The commentators are at a loss for words. His methods are not in any school known to me. Too precise his movements, too old. It was like watching a grandmaster in the body of a teenager. Then the semi-final. His opponent was dual element cultivator. Lightning, wind, quick, aggressive. The favorite to win the tournament. The crowd thinks this is where they catch the mystery kid. The prodigy unleashes everything. Chains of lightning, blades, wind, a combined technique that lights up the whole arena. Mu-jin is working through all of this. Not blocked. Does not object, just moves, like he was walking through rain. Every attack is an inch off. The prodigy is frustrated. Too far out. And in that half-second space, there's Mu-jin. 1 hand, center chest, 5th rib. He gives off 1% of the energy of the primordial chaos. The prodigy is launched across the arena. The stone wall has craters, down, out. Now the arena erupts, but the final is where everything changes, because waiting for him in the ring is an elder, a real one, peak of the first-rate realm, a man who has been training for 40 years, and he's sent specifically to humiliate to prove that a fallen clan can never walk with the living. The elder strikes straight away. A sword technique polished for decades. Quick, exact, dead. Mu-jin draws his blade, uses a basic Yeomhwa family stance, but imbues it with the sheer, overwhelming killing intent of the divine demon. The pressure alone breaks the stone floor beneath them. The elder's eyes go wide. His hands tremble, because the aura this boy is radiating is not that of a 16-year-old. It has the aura of the ancient, something that's killed 10,000 men and felt nothing. Their blades meet. The elder's sword breaks. The old man is sent flying out of the ring, coughing blood. Mu-jin puts away his sword. He glances over at the VIP booth where the sect leaders are sitting, and he says, "Are there any more tests? Or can I get my family's seal now?" Nobody moves a muscle. No one breathes. That was the moment the Sichuan Murim knew the sleeping dragon has awoke. And it is pissed off. In the days that follow, everything changes. The gangs fade away. The debt collectors stop calling you. The distant relatives who scheme to take over the estate suddenly have pressing engagements elsewhere. Ma Sok is bigger. The servants cease whispering, but Jeong Cheon stands on the roof of the estate at night, facing north, to the central plains, to the 9 major sects, to the ones that smiled at him and sharpened their knives. They think he is dead. They think his name is merely a tale to scare children. They are mistaking. He is coming. And this time he's not building an empire of fear. He's making something that can't be betrayed, one that cannot be poisoned, something unbreakable. And when the 9 Great Sects see his face again, they will know. The divine demon hadn't died. He was simply given another chance, and he's not wasting it. The Tang Clan had heard about the tournament, and they didn't send a letter of congratulations. They sent 3 killers. They arrived at midnight. Silent, professional, trained in the legendary poison skills of the Tang family. Blades coated, invisible needles fired from a gun. a toxin so rare that the best physicians in Sichuan wouldn't know the symptoms until it was too late. They were sent to kill Hwa Mu-jin in his sleep. But Jeong Cheon no longer sleeps. And having lived 10,000 years, you learn to hear a heartbeat 3 rooms away. He opens his eyes, 3 presences. He made his way through the courtyard. Kai condensed, professional distance. He doesn't panic. He smiles. He killed 14 Tang Clan elders in one night in his past life. He knows their poison arts better than they do. He knows the 17 points that quicken the flow of their poison. He knows the exact angle their needles fly from. He recognizes the flaw in their footwork that they've been hiding for 3 generations. He steps out of his room barefoot. No weapon, no armor, only the moonlight and the cold eyes. The first assassin comes in from the left, a poisoned needle aimed at the carotid artery. Mu-jin cocks his head 2 inches. The needle goes through thin air. He caught the assassin's wrist, wrenched and drove the man's own needle into his neck. Once off, the second assassin is coming from above. A trailing blade smeared with 7-layer tang venom. Mu-jin doesn't shy away. He raises a hand, catches the blade between his fingers. The poison attempts to seep into his skin. His heavenly martial body burned it away half a second later. The assassin's eyes widen. That's never happened before. Mu-jin waves his wrist. The blade explodes. The assassin falls. The third one runs. Mu-jin releases him. A dead killer doesn't tell anyone what happened here. But a frightened assassin returns to his masters and whispers a name, and fear spreads faster than poison. By morning, the Tang Clan knows 3 things. Their best killers failed. Their legendary poison was useless. And the mad boy of the Yeomhwa family is not mad at all. And that frightens them more than any sword ever could. However, Jeong Cheon is not happy. He knows this was a trial, a searching assault. Now the Tang Clan is deciding if he's worth a full-on assault or worth negotiating with. And that gives him an opening. A little one. 2 months before they even make up their minds, 2 months to raise an army, he begins with Ma Sok. The old retainer has been loyal for years, but he is weak. Untrained servant, not a warrior. One morning, Jeong Cheon looks at him and says, "I am going to teach you." Ma Sok laughs. Too old. His meridians are calcified. His body. Mu-jin shakes his head, says, "I've seen men twice your age learn to fight. I have seen cripples walking. I have seen the blind see. You were faithful when no one was. That is of more value than talent. Take a seat. Shut your eyes. Breathe in." He also teaches Ma Sok a breathing technique, not the art of the primordial chaos. That'd kill the old guy, but a more simple form. A cultivation method designed for late beginners. Something Jeong Cheon made in his previous life for soldiers who started training at 40. Ma Sok cries, not of pain, from the fact that someone finally saw him as more than a servant. Over the next 3 weeks, the estate transforms. Mu-jin recruits the mercenaries he encountered in the city. Not with cash, respectfully, deliberately. The Yeomhwa family is rising, he tells them, and those who stand with us now will be standing at the top when the dust settles. Then 20. He was then 40 years old. They're not elite. They're not geniuses, but they are hungry. And Jeong Cheon knows how to make hungry men into wolves. He drills them each morning, aligns their positions, teaches them formations unseen in centuries. He restructures their cultivation foundations, fixing flaws they've carried for years. Within a month, his 40 men are hitting at the level of seasoned sect disciples. The local gangs take note. The merchants watch. The little sects watch. And then the Tang Clan takes the second step. This time they don't send assassins. They send an invite, a formal challenge. A duel between the Yeomhwa family and a branch of the Tang Clan, publico, authorized, with the reps from all the big Sichuan factions. If the Yeomhwa family loses, they lose their estate, their name, their right to exist in the province. It's a death sentence wrapped in politeness. Ma Sok implored him not to. It says it's a trap. Says the Tang Clan will send their best prodigy, someone at the peak of core formation, and Mu-jin is still only at Kai refinement. Mu-jin reads the letter, carefully folds it, and says no. Agreed. Ma Sok looks at him. You will die. Mu-jin turns to the old man, and for the first time something soft crosses his face. He says, Ma Sok, in my entire life no one has ever stood beside me when I had nothing. No one except you, so I'm going to go in that arena. Because you deserve to see the name Yeomhwa restored." Ma Sok says nothing. He just nods. Lower than he had bowed before, the day of the duel is dawning. The arena is full. Every sect in Sichuan is watching them. Tang Clan sends their youngest genius, an 18-year-old boy in the prime of core formation, trained in the Tang family's 7-poison sword style since birth. He's quick. He's lethal. The toxin on his blade could kill an elephant in 3 heartbeats. Crowd sympathizes with Mu-jin. They think he's walking to his death. The bell tolls. The genius of the Tang strikes at once. A storm of poison blows, green mist trailing off his sword. The air is filled with poison. The front row spectators cough and lean back. Mu-jin does not fall back. He moves forward. The prodigy slices. Mu-jin enters guard. The blade skims his shoulder. He's right there, too quick. He takes the wrist of the prodigy, and the heavenly martial body is act. White light explodes from his palm. The blade's poison sizzles, burns, vaporizes. The prodigy howls as the toxin he has been carrying for years is being neutralized in his own meridians. Mu-jin murmurs something. "Get on your knees," and the prodigy's knees give out. He goes down on his knees. His sword dropped with a clatter. His kai is out of whack. Now his poison is out. He's just a boy. The arena is quiet. Then it blows up. The Tang Clan elders in the VIP area stand. Their faces are masks of anger and fear, because what they saw just now was not a technique. It was a control. Absolute, unquestionable, terrifying domination. Mu-jin turns to them, won't bow, doesn't bask in, just says, "Yeomhwa family still there. Anyone who forgets this is welcome to write another letter." He goes. Ma Sok stands waiting at the gate. The old man is openly crying. Mu-jin puts a hand on his shoulder, says, "Let's go home." But what Mu-jin doesn't tell Ma Sok, what he doesn't tell his 40 men, during the fight he saw someone in the back of the crowd, a gray-robed person, watching, no cheering, no heckling, just a peek. And for half a second their eyes met and the figure smiled, a smile that said, "I see what you are." And that smile made Jeong Cheon shudder. In all of 10,000 years of life, only 3 people had ever seen through his disguise, and all 3 of them were meant to be dead. Mu-jin sits on the rooftop that night, staring at the stars, thinking, Sichuan is a safe area. The Tang Clan will not again make an open move. Yeomhwa name is restored. Ma Sok is growing up. The soldiers are getting bigger, but the central plains are still waiting. The 9 Great Sects are on the wait, and somewhere out there someone knows the ghost walking in a boy's skin. He rises, northward, and says to the empty sky, "I'm coming, and this time I won't be alone." The next morning he tells Ma Sok to pack up. Not for a journey, for a movement. They are leaving Sichuan, entering the core of the Jeonghwa, onto the land of the 9 Great Sects. In the den of the lion, Ma Sok doesn't ask why. He just nods, starts to pack, and as the sun rises over the Yeomhwa estate, Hwa Mu-jin walks through the gates one last time as a boy, 40 soldiers, an old man following behind, and the ghost of a god, the divine demon. And woe to anyone who gets in his way. The road out of Sichuan is long, and it's not quiet. The caravan is ambushed 3 days from the edge of the province, not by bandits, by farmers, 6 of them. He wore the silver-threaded robes of the Azure Crane sect, one of the 9 Great Sects' subsidiary branches. They step onto the road like it belongs to them. Their leader, a man in his 30s with a scar across his jaw, looks at Mu-jin's 40 soldiers and laughs, says, "This road is Azure Crane sect's territory. Toll is all that you carry. Weapons, supplies, growing manuals. You hand it back and walk away breathing." Ma Sok reaches for his sword. The soldiers go stiff. Mu-jin raises a hand, stops all of them, and he goes on, alone, looks at the scarred guy and asks a simple question. "Who is your sect leader?" The man blinks, confused from the calm. Sect Master Hwa Mu-jin says, "Why?" Mu-jin nods slowly, because he recognizes the name. Hwa Mu-jin was nobody in his last. A third-rate elder who had knelt before the 9 Great Sects. Jeong Cheon killed him without remembering his face. But in this timeline, Hwa Mu-jin is still alive, and his disciples are robbing travelers on a public highway. Mu-jin says, "I give you one chance. Go back to your cult. Tell Hwa Mu-jin that the Yeomhwa family is coming, and if I see silver robes on this road again, I will personally visit him." The scarred man chuckles, draws his sword. Says a boy is threatening the Azure Crane sect. He strikes. A broad horizontal slash at Mu-jin's neck. Quick, clean. A technique practiced 10,000 times. Mu-jin grabs the blade between two fingers. The man's eyes go wide. He rips, presses, turns. The sword lies still. It's like it's been welded into the boy's hand. Mu-jin flicks his wrist. The blade snaps. Clean split. The broken half spins through the air and lands 3 inches from the man's foot in the dirt. The other 5 cultivators all draw their weapons. Mu-jin turns his gaze to them, and for one single moment he lets his killing intent leak. Just a fraction. Just a whisper of the divine demon's aura. The air drops 10 degrees. The grass under their feet is dying. Their hands shake so badly their swords rattle. They flee, all 6 of them, running like children from a nightmare. Mu-jin watches them walk away. Doesn't chase. Doesn't gloat. He just turns around to the caravan and says, "Let's keep moving." But Ma Sok saw it, that aura, that cold, bottomless ancient pressure. And he realizes for the first time that the boy he's been protecting isn't just talented. He's more than just a prodigy, he is something else. Something Ma Sok has no name for. He files it away. Does not talk, but loyalty takes on a character almost religious. The caravan moves north, into the central plains, the Jeong, where the 9 great sects rule as emperors, where every mountain has a master and each river has a guardian. And on the 5th day the gray-robed one comes back. He sees him in a tea house. 3 tables down, same featureless white mask. Gray robes again, watching. Non-adversarial, not a threat, just watching. Mu-jin sat down opposite him. Masok panics, grabs for his blade, but Mujin waves him off. He brews up 2 cups of tea, pushes you across. And he says, "You've been after me since Sichuan, so speak or leave." The masked figure remains silent for a long while, then he speaks. Low voice, non-binary, eternal. "You use the art of breathing in the primordial chaos. In the tourney, in the hallway, in your yard, you were using it in public. How many people in this world would kill to see that technique again, you know?" Mu-jin drinks some tea, says, "I know exactly how many, 3. And 2 dead." The figure cocks its head. And the 3rd one, Mu-jin puts down his cup, gazes directly into the mask, says, "I'm looking at him, be quiet." The tea house is hushed. Ma Sok grips his sword more tightly. The 40 soldiers seem uncomfortable, then the person laughs, soft, almost sorry. "Smart boy," says, smarter than he was, "but I'm not the enemy, not yet. I'm here because I remember the old war, I recall the divine demon, and I remember what they did to him." Mu-jin's eyes narrow, says, The figure rises, places a small jade token on the table, and engraved with a symbol Mu-jin recognizes. A symbol that should no longer exist. A symbol from an organization that was destroyed 10,000 years ago. The figure says, "Find me when you're ready to remember what really happened at the summit of eternal accord. They told you a story about your death, but it's a lie. Not all of it, that is, but enough of it to count," and he's off, like the smoke, like he never was. Mu-jin takes up the jade token. He rolls it between his fingers. His hands are strong, but his mind was a typhoon. He thought he knew how he died in 10,000 years of memories. The toxin, the 7 swords, her face, the sword in his breast. He wears that truth like a scar. But if any of this is a lie, then everything he's based his revenge on could be wrong, and he fears that more than he fears any enemy. He slips the token in his pocket, says nothing to Ma Sok. He speaks nothing to the soldiers, just keeps on walking, staring north. 2 weeks later they reach the city of Luoyang, gateway to the Central Plains, the largest city of martial arts in the known world. Every sect has an embassy, every merchant has a table. These streets were the conduits of all the rumors of the Jeonghu. Mu-jin walks straight into trouble. In the market district he sees a girl being dragged along by 3 men in gold robes. She's young, 14, bleeding from a gash on her forehead. The men were pulling her toward a carriage. She's screaming. The crowd is watching. No one shifts, because the golden robes are a treasure of the Golden Summit sect. One of the 9 great sects itself. Mu-jin halts. He wouldn't have cared in his past life. The divine demon didn't save children. He conquered countries. He butchered armies. Mercy was a weakness he had burned out of himself centuries ago. But this flesh has memory of something. Hwa Mu-jin had a second younger sister. She died going down with the family, starving, ill. No one came to help. He takes a step forward. Ma Sok seizes his arm. "Those are disciples of 9 great sects," whispers. If you touch them, every orthodox sect in the Central Plains will come for you. Mu-jin glances at the old man. I know, he says, and he walks forward all the same. He doesn't announce himself, does not monologue, reaches out and grabs the man yells, "Let's go." Mu-jin pulls the girl behind his back. The other two golden-robed disciples unsheath their swords. One says, "You know who we serve, the Golden Summit School, for this shall you die." "I've died before," says Mu-jin. "It wasn't as good as you think it is." They strike, both at the same time, coordinated, trained. Their swordsmanship is in a class of its own in Sichuan. Genuine elite disciples, real murderous intentions. Mu-jin unsheathes his sword. And for the first time since his rebirth, he openly uses a technique from his previous life. The heavenly demon's severing bow. One horizontal slash splitting the air itself. The swords snap both. Both men go flying back, running into a market stall. They were out cold when they hit the ground. The crowd gasps, then scatters. Everyone knows what just happened. A nobody just killed two Golden Summit sect disciples in broad daylight. The consequences will be disastrous. She was shaking, frightened. He bends down to her level. "You're safe, sure. Run, go on until you're clear of the city." She runs, no looking back. Next to him comes Ma Sok. His face looks pale, says the Golden Summit sect will send enforcers, dozens of them, maybe hundreds of them. Mu-jin puts his sword away. "I know," he says. Ma Sok says. "Why then?" Mu-jin looks down at the street the girl ran down. It's empty. Says, "In my last life, nobody stopped for me. And I swore if I got a second chance, I would be the one to stop." Ma Sok does not talk. He just shakes his head and waits for his master. Waiting. They don't have to wait long. As night fell, 12 enforcers were dispatched from the Golden Summit sect. Core formation domain, They surrounded the inn where Mu-jin's caravan was staying. Their leader kicks the door and demands the boy who hit his disciples. Mu-jin sits in the courtyard, tea drinking, and Ma Sok is back. For weeks, Mu-jin had drilled the 40 soldiers into formation. "On your knees," says the enforcement chief. "Disabled your own cultivation, and we will let your servants live." Mu-jin sets his cup down, stand, and says no. The following battle is the bloodiest of his new life. One boy, one old man, and 40 soldiers against 12 core formation cultivators. On paper, that's suicide, but Mu-jin had been preparing for this for weeks. It was not merely a formation. This is a Chi amplification array. Each soldier invests a fraction of its energy into the next. And at the heart, Mu-jin ties it all together. His heavenly martial body blazes. Red fire and white light. The devil and God, the soldiers gasp. They have never seen anything like it. The enforcement team comes to a halt. The pressure coming off this kid is bad. It is too old, too large, too clean. Mu-jin moves. One soldier is down, then two, then three. He isn't killed. Splitting swords. Splintering meridians, smashing people's kneecaps so they'll never get a weapon again. The strongest, the leader of the 12 enforcers, uses his ultimate technique. A gold palm strike cracking the earth. Mu-jin goes straight to it. Their hands meet. The shockwave blows every window out of the inn, and Mu-jin fights back. The leader's golden kai shattered. Fractures. Shatters. He is thrown through the wall, across the street, smashes into the building on the other side. Quiet, the other conscious enforcers look at their fallen leader. Look at Mu-jin, and they run away. We throw down our weapons. They lose their self-respect. They run away. Mu-jin is in the ruined courtyard, breathing hard, blood on his hands, not his. His soldiers are battered, but they are alive. Ma Sok has a cut on his cheek, but he is standing, and off in the distance on a rooftop, the gray-robed figure watches. He nods once, and then it is gone. Mu-jin sits on the ruined wall of the inn that night. Ma Sok wraps the wound on his arm. Neither of them speaks for a long time. Ma Sok says, "Then they'll be back. More of them. Harder. Never forget the 9 Great Sects." Mu-jin nods. "I know, that's the point. I want them to remember. I want them to hear the name Yeomhwa and feel the same terror they felt when they heard the name Divine Demon. I want them to know that what they killed didn't stay dead." Ma Sok looks at him. And for the first time he asks the question he's been holding back since Sichuan. "Who's this?" Really, Mu-jin is silent. The moon hangs high, silence in the town, and he looks at this old man who fed him and guarded him, followed him into death without question. "My name was Jeong Cheon," he says. "I was the divine demon. I've got 10,000 years. I killed more people than the city has rocks, and those I trusted most thrust a sword in my heart." Ma Sok's hand stopped. His face goes rigid. Mu-jin adds, I woke up in your young master's body. I don't know why. I have no idea how, but I know this. In my first life, I had power and no one to share it with. I have you in this life, and that is the difference. Ma Sok is silent. Then he bows down, lower than he's ever bowed, and says, then I will follow Jeong Cheon, or Hwa Mu-jin, or whoever you might be. Until the end. Mu-jin smiles. The first actual smile. There are 9 cults to burn. He rises, looking to the horizon. The central plains stretch out before him, endless, risky, haunted by ghosts of a life he can't forget and foes that don't know he's coming. Darkness walks into the divine demon, and behind him an old man, 40 soldiers, and the memory of 10,000 years. This is the end of Season 1, but the story is far from over. Because somewhere in the north, in the highest tower of the Golden Summit sect, a woman she knew it, that feeling, that impossible, ancient, familiar pressure. A pressure she'd felt before, 10,000 years ago, when she'd run a blade through the chest of the man she loved. Her hands are shaking. Her breath hitches and whispers one word to the empty room. Xinjiang. The screen goes black. And the divine demon's second war has just begun.